Since I have born, the devil wanted to kill me. First, my family, I survived. It was two times it could be possible I die. Then it was the work the bosses wanted. They have every time right, even if they don't have right, even if the patients pay the cost of it. So I was fired because it regularly happened. I thought differently. And as I remember, mostly I was right, but they couldn't deal with it. So it led me to material unsafety. Then the third one, as as I followed God, and I felt like okay, people left real love, and I thought to find a way to real love, and I tried to find a partner according to it, and it directly led to my death. It it quite happened, and before I speak further, I tell about my dreams. As the first dream I remember in me, I dreamed it more times. I was very little, maybe 3 or 4 years old. I stood at the bed of my parents. The bed was empty, and the witch uh, ran after me. So I ran from the witch around the empty bed of my parents. Then later, I have dreamed. I I have dreamed about a cow. The cow stood at a river. She crossed the river. On the other side was a big bull. She went below the bull, but she was so too little to this huge bull, and she grew up in a very short time, so they could be together. And in the next picture, I was already very old. I had white hair, and in my right there was a stock, and in front of me came came an animal like he had got a, a face, a face of wolf, a face of leopard, and he attacked me. He was huge. So in my explanation in the dream, it was the devil. The devil wanted to kill me, and then I moved this. So I moved this stick, and first I cut down the penis of this animal, so the devil, that created all of the big amount of people or big amount of living creature, they serve the devil. And then I take the stick and I hit again, and I hit down the mouse of the devil, the mouse that make people believing that is the right way what he does. And in the next moment, I stood before a chair. It's a huge chair, the chair of a king. And on the side of the chair and on the armrest was a mouse. And he ran away. And this old man sat then down in the chair. A little time before I have a dream, I was moving in the field, in a green field, and I arrived at a crossroad, and I hear the voice in me, like God would say, "Don't step on the road. Blah, stay in the forests. No, stay in the green. Stay in the nature." And I stood in the nature, and I arrived at steps. the steps leading to the heaven. And every step was huge like me. It was an enormous challenge to rise over every stair, over. I did it. It was terrible, and I didn't know in the first time. I just saw the stairs going high to the sky. So I went up the stairs, but as I said, it was an extreme challenge. And at the end, I arrived at a huge door. I saw only a door of a temple. Sometimes dreams are about your spiritual way, what you are, what you will be. And once in my dream, I was behind a fence, and a horse was running to me, and on the horse had the devil. He wanted to catch me with a lasso, and I ran from him. It was dangerous. I ran from him, and I had a luck. Every time I was nearer to fence, the fence moved away, so it let me place, and the devil couldn't catch me. As I was together with some students, we learned physics on the university, and he said me one day, I had a dream. We three were running because a big bear chased us. So we arrived at a precipice, and on the side of the precipice was an old dead tree that's laid that the sticks of this tree were already over the precipice. So we climbed on the tree, and I was moving the farthest, and below me it broke the stick, it broke the branch, and I fall in the precipice. And on the bottom of the precipice was a church. He didn't look after me because he thought I died. It's for me this dream is similar to the stairs leading into the sky, and at the end there was the church. Once I was in a channel, no, in a tunnel. So once I was in a tunnel, and it was totally dark. I couldn't see anything, and at the end, I raised every time a voice telling me, "Come to me, come to me. Here you will find what you need." And I went, and every time the voice went away, more and more far. So I went nearer, the voice went away. It is for me like the sign of the devil. Um, I have to say something about it. What is the devil? The symbol of the devil. It is like you fall in a precipice and it never ends. In the reality, no precipice are like that. So every precipice had a bottom, but it's a precipice having no bottom. So you fall, just you fall without end. And many things has got this appearance. So, for example, if someone get an illness like diabetes, then it happens. He eats, but he never will be fulfilled. Or at other places, then you can drink, but you will never be fulfilled. Or you shop, but you never will be fulfilled. So it is a sign that it's very deep in the culture at many places. So, and this was for me like I was in the tunnel, I moved nearer and nearer to that voice, and the voice went away from me every time more and more far. And I felt I don't do it anymore. It was enough. I don't run after uh, an idol and after an illusion. And I started to touch the wall of the tunnel. I felt the stones and I moved one stone out and I stepped through the wall of the tunnel. And as I was outside, there came a big, like a meteor. I don't know. It was huge, and there was a place, and it just pumped around. So everything what was, I called it everything. It was the world until the time it exploded. It disappeared. The old world has disappeared. Maybe it can be. It can mean many things. Symbols and dreams have many meanings. Once I dreamt about flowering, uh, about a blooming apple tree, and in 2 months I had a relationship. A blooming apple tree means getting a new relationship in a dream. So I believe a bit in my dreams that they are reality. And once I dreamed in the night about 5 women. You know, my symbolic number is 5. And as I dreamt about it, the first woman was like a child. No, the first woman was like a sergeant, a sergeant, an officer. It was like that. I do it, I do it, I do that. So everything regulated. And I made a cross on her, so it was a red cross. And then the second one was a young woman. So at the end of her adolescent time, so he is he teenager time, and the third one was like a witch. She was extremely beautiful, and but it was just like that. And then I made a cross, and this cross ran over the border of her, and this cross went as well in the fourth woman. So partially it crossed as well the fourth woman. The fourth woman was not as beautiful as she, but she was very erotic. She turned back and looked at me. She looked at me. And I moved forward, and there was the fifth woman. And the fifth woman was like my mother, just in a very young edition. And as I woke up in the morning, I thought, okay, I knew the first 2 women in my life. They were my girlfriend earlier. So the first really was like an officer. She knew every time how are the things, and we should do like that. And the second one was 19 as I knew her. I was 8 years older, and but I didn't met any other women. So the last 3 I have never met. And on that day, I met a woman. She was extremely beautiful, so a first class model, and really it was just about her beauty. There was no content. Um, and as we met, so I don't want to tell the whole story. She was for me like that witch. No, I don't know. I didn't met the fourth woman. I met a fifth woman 2 years later. The fifth woman, she behaved herself like my mother. So I didn't meet the fourth woman until now. Maybe I am wrong with believing in dreams. In the old times, in the ancient times, people believed in dreams. They thought it speaks about their life. And for me, the border between dreams, between imaginations and intuition is not so far. As I started the university, there was something we could buy, some papers. I don't know the name of it. The papers were in a big bag, maybe 1,000 of it, and I could buy one. It was very loud music. It was a party on the university, and I asked my fingers, please feel which one I should buy. And I felt that one. I didn't look, I just felt my fingers. And I felt one, this is what I should buy. And with this, I won the second prize. It was a trip to Prague for two persons. And anyway, with the first prize, it had no words for me. It was a motorcycle, and I have never used a motorcycle. But the second prize was fitting for me. And many times I moved on the street, and I felt no, it comes now my some of my acquaintance, but I couldn't see. There was big houses, and then he appeared or she appeared. So for me, what is the border between what we sense and what we feel is not so far. So I could imagine the dreams. The dreams are reality. They are a part of your future or your past, and they come.